This could be it. The first opportunity to get my crocodile decoy nose to nose with wild croc.
There's a croc. I'm going for it.
Oh, it's just what I wanted. He's holding his ground.
That's a dominant display. Him puffing his body up like that is trying to make himself as big as possible.
We have our first success. The crocodiles see our boat as another croc.
We're just a little bit more dominant is what that says right there. Our croc head is bigger than any of these crocs.
Unbelievable. Crocodiles are so much about dominance and submission, and my styrofoam head is winning. It doesn't even have a body, and it's the king of the pond. This might just work.
You know what I think we need to do? We obviously can get close. I think we ought to put a snare on the crocodile's head and try to get it close and snare them from the crocodile, because they're obviously interested in our croc head. Let's bring in, I don't want them to attack and eat it. So if you're the crocodile, I'll drive this over to you. You'll swim through it, snare yourself. Yeah. This float will break away. You'll swim away with the float, and then we'll follow the float so we'll know where the crocodile's at, and then it'll allow us to capture it. Should work.
I'm trying to align my crocodile nose to nose with a wild croc. It's almost like jousting, so when I pass by its head, he'll swim through my snare.
I go for this other one. Oh, I missed it. Flipped our head over. Uh-oh. Our disguise is falling off. They now know it's a boat.
I think this is going to take a little practice. But now I'm starting to get closer.
I've got it all the way.
At first I think, great, we're interacting with these animals. But then I start to notice a pattern. Time after time, these crocodiles are sending signals which say, hey, you're the dominant crocodile. I'm not going to interact with you. What I realize is that to get a head-to-head snaring opportunity, I'm going to need a croc to take us on.
Everyone's afraid of it. We don't have any bold crocodiles, bold individuals willing to take on our croc head. I think we need to modify the design. I think we need to make the crocodile head smaller.
To these crocs, our croc decoy is just too dominant, and it isn't sophisticated enough to send back a submissive signal to indicate otherwise. Basically, our crocodile can't communicate, so we can't get close enough to really capture anything. I'd brought Plan C, but I was hoping I wouldn't have to use it. Crocodiles use a complex system of social signals to communicate with one another. Raising the snout often indicates submission. Flapping the head and lifting the body out of the water can signal aggression. There are a vast number of cues these animals send to one another to express themselves. Yet I really have no way to make our crocodile decoy part of that conversation. Now, an idea I had to try to exploit this social system of signals used by crocodiles was to become a croc. I'd brought a life-size foam crocodile head that I could wear on my head. So this time, engaging in conversation rests on my shoulders. The downside is I'm going to have to get in the water with these crocs, enter their world as one of their own. This has the potential to be dangerous, but some answers only come by crossing into new frontiers. If I can make this head speak their language, maybe I can draw the crocs close enough to capture them. Armed with only my snare and rope, it's just me. So here's the plan. We sink a protective metal cage to keep me safe from any overly aggressive crocodiles, especially ones that might come from behind. I got in the cage and the boat drove away, and man, I was in my element. I was at peace with the world, and I was at home in the water with the animals that I've dedicated my entire career to studying. I want the crocs to approach, but not too close. So Hannes and a park ranger are going to keep watch from a distance.
I'm going to have to really be careful and really be observant to the signals that the crocodiles are giving me. If a crocodile approaches and gives me a head slap, that's an aggressive display. If I receive something like that, I'm going to try to raise my snout. The crocodile raises its snout in the air. That's a submissive gesture, saying, I'm not looking for trouble. I'm less dominant than you are.
But first I just need to let the crocs check me out from a distance. And after about 20 minutes, 2 crocodiles head my way. I'm giving social signals, trying to pull these animals in. And very quickly, my comfort level changes. A giant crocodile surfaces, only 60 or 70 meters in front of me. And it's sending me a message in a language which I definitely understand. He's got his body out of the water, and his tail is arched.
He was sending signals to Brady that he's the boss, and he's not going to allow another big croc into his territory.
I tried the submissive snout raise, but that big croc just kept coming. And then the situation gets worse. The crocodile submerges, and I have no idea where it's at. And I'm still trying to keep track of crocodiles on either side of me. And then that big crocodile surfaces again. But this time, he's cut the distance in half. And he's giving me the same signals. I keep looking towards the boat to make sure they can see this large crocodile. I look back, and the crocodile is gone. We're talking about a 1,000-pound animal, and it's gotta be 13 feet long. That's just way too much croc for this metal cage. I told myself, if this started to feel too dangerous, I would get out of the water. I've definitely reached that point, and I signal for the boat.
That was incredible. I was really nervous. I mean, did you see the big crocodile? This is really exciting. I mean, if you were doing a behavioral study, I think something like this would really be worthwhile. But in terms of capturing during daytime, I think it's a little too dangerous for me. I think you're just asking for trouble, getting in the water with a crocodile.
You really succeeded in interacting with the crocodiles. They were certainly reacting to your presence.
I mean, these 2 crocodiles were totally at ease with me. You could tell that, I mean, when they came up, they would just give me a lifted snout, just kind of a submissive posture. They weren't looking for trouble. But that big male, that was scaring me, because he would go down and then come up closer, show his back, arch his tail, go back and forth. I was really nervous about that animal. Let me get back in the boat, and we'll gear up, and we'll do what we do best, and that's capture crocs at night.
So Hannes and I went out that night. We caught and captured crocs as we had in the past, and we successfully attached a transmitter for his ongoing research. Next to all the unorthodox techniques we tried, I was reminded why our old technique had been utilized for so long. And for the moment, capturing crocodiles will remain a nocturnal activity for me. To try so many different techniques and to just keep failing. I mean, it's frustrating. And maybe it even humbled me a little bit. But each one taught me a little more about crocodile behavior. So I'm definitely not done with these experiments. Like all scientific research, trial and error are the steps you take to achieve success. And who knows, maybe some modifications. Just one of my ideas will someday open herpetologists up to the sunny side of crocodile fieldwork.